Viewing week one in the NFL here at SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, industry veteran, extremely well respected by everyone, including me. He just takes any NFL game I ask him to take. He'll give an opinion, give a pick if he likes it enough. Joe Duffy, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Peter. It's one of my favorite times of the week.
Absolutely. All right. Miami at Cleveland. Before we get into it, give a short plug for OffshoreInsiders.com.
Offshore Insiders, as you said, I trace my professional roots going all the way back to the scorephone days of the 1980s. And before that, I was a gambler and a handicapper long before that. So as a professional handicapper, it's my 26th year as a handicapper and a gambler, approaching about 40. But you can get all of my picks at OffshoreInsiders.com.
Okay, great. Miami at Cleveland. Now, this one is really tough. And again, to all the viewers, all the other cappers tell me the games that they like. Joe Duffy says, I'll cover whatever game you want me to cover. So this is not a game that he necessarily has a good opinion on. To me, this looks very tough. Cleveland's pick 'em or -1, totals 41. Both these teams having problems to start the year. Browns having issues on the offensive line. Miami, big questions on offense in the preseason. They didn't have a good record in the red zone, and they have questions at tight end, questions at running back. A lot of question marks all over the field for both these teams. I guess if I had to make a pick right now, I would take maybe the under at 41, but I don't know. What do you think? It's going to be a big pass for me.
Now, you bring up a lot of good points, and it's funny, before the preseason started, I don't necessarily put a ton of stock what happens in the preseason, but obviously the fact that Miami really raised a lot of red flags and question marks in the preseason means that what I was hoping for hasn't totally happened. I thought that the Dolphins, because they went on that off-season spree, and a lot of the media people were jumping all over them as a possible dark horse team, and I thought that Miami was going to be a great fade early in the year. But unfortunately, based on the line here, they're not quite as overrated as I originally had hoped for. But still, going to have to lean towards Cleveland in this game. As you said, both teams have their share of question marks. Another thing, one of my first check marks was because Miami, of course, lost Dustin Keller, but one of their big signings during the offseason was Mike Wallace, Mike Wallace, and he is a big-time deep receiver. That's what was missing from Miami's game last year. They did not have much of a deep threat. So without Keller and with Wallace, you would think that maybe you'd lean a little bit towards the over. But as you said, Miami doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of balance. I would say, all in all, the best play here is the under, because remember one of my golden rules. I was talking about quarterbacks who are coming in with much higher expectations the next year. And both of these young quarterbacks, they've raised the bar as far as expectations, but I don't think either one has proven all that much on the field. So my biggest worry here is maybe some defensive touchdowns, but I'm not overly impressed with either one of these offenses whatsoever. So I would say the under is the best play here, especially if the defenses don't get any scores.
All right. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that as well. I wouldn't make an official pick on it. Are you willing to go? And you can pass on this game, Joe Duffy, but is the under going to be your official pick on this?
No, I honestly, when we're recording this, I haven't finalized my official premium picks, but I would say yes. To give you a pick right now, I almost certainly will not have the over as a premium pick, and I would say the strongest would I have a check mark on the under here for sure. And yes, you can put me on the record as a free pick here.
Okay, Joe Duffy, industry veteran, likes the under 41. Thanks so much, Joe.
Thank you.